Hello and welcome to the training and module on Facebook ads. Now, this is going to be specific to trading and service-based businesses, and this is how you get started. Realistically, there's so much you can do with Facebook ads to improve and to make things happen, essentially. But I'm going to show you the basics on what you need to get started with advertising on Facebook and exactly how to do it. Now, the first thing is you're going to need to set up a Facebook business account and Facebook ads. Now, I'm not going to go through that, but there's about 1,000 tutorials online about how to do them. I would start with those because that is ever changing as well, and it's not something I'm going to continue to be updating. Now, here is my basically sample ad account. I'm going to walk you through a few things today. Now, I'm going to be looking at two different types of Facebook ads. Number one is an awareness type ad, and number two is retargeting ads, and two different ways to do that to improve your conversions. The next thing is improving ads. This is essentially going to be testing a whole heap of different things, and I'm going to walk you through that. So number one, let's look at types of ads. Number one is going to be an awareness type ad. So this is how do we make people aware of your service? How do we locate the right people? And how do we attract them? And then how do we get them to do stuff through retargeting ads? So step one is we want more people to essentially know you and your business. So how we're going to do that is through an awareness type ad. All right? And this is exactly how I would set it up. So number one is for awareness ads, I would use a video ad. And realistically, the quality of content here is going to make a massive difference whether someone likes you and uses your services or watches the video. And essentially what you're going to want to do is target video views. So you're not wanting people to buy your services here. You just want people to get familiar with you and your business and what you guys do. And you're going to want them to watch the video ad. All right, I'm going to run you through how to create that type of a campaign. And you're also going to want to do it for a particular location. More specifically, the locations that you service. And yeah, let's jump into it. So you're going to go create, and then we're going to choose what kind of thing we want to, what objective we want for this. Now we're going to choose engagement. And as you can see under engagement here, we've got the option for video views. That's what we want. We want to reach people who are more likely to watch the video. So people who want to become more familiar with your brand. Now you've got the option here to name this campaign. Now let's just go awareness, targeting for video views. Let's just go with that. Video views 1. All right, continue. So that is our campaign is created. Now we're going to look at our ad sets. So awareness, this is our campaign, and there's not a lot that you want to do here. A/B testing, you want to do that within campaigns, so don't click that. Advantage campaign budget, so this is going to change the budget of your ad sets. Realistically, I want this to be pretty even, and I want to control that myself. So now that we've got that set up, we're going to go to next. Now under ad sets, we get to choose what kind of constraints there are on our ad. Now conversion location, where do we want people to go and essentially complete their engagement? So I would do this on get people to watch a video or interact with your post. That's realistically what I want people to do. Engagement type, video views. So I want people to be watching this video. Great. Maximize through play views or maximize 2-second continuous views. So do we want more people viewing it for a shorter amount of time, or do we want less people watching it more? I want less people watching it more because the quality of person who watches this is what's really important here. All right. then you want to set a daily budget. Now, realistically, your awareness campaign is typically going to be at least 3/4 of your budget, at least to start off with, unless you have some wicked SEO going on and you just need to retarget people who are already going to your website, or I don't know. But realistically, whatever you're willing to spend per day, I would be allocating 3/4 of it to your awareness campaign. So whatever that number is, put it in here. Now, under ad sets, we're also looking at our audience. Now, if there's a specific type of person that you want to target, here's the time to do it. Now, just know the more specific you go, typically the cost of advertising goes up. More specifically, a metric called CPM, which is the cost to show 1,000 people your ad, that goes up the higher amount. Now, realistically, the main thing that you're going to want to do here is, first off, is you're probably just going to want to keep it broad, because it's, there's a few different ways that we can do this, but I'll walk through what kind of testing you can do later. But realistically, a location is quite small. So we want people living in this location. And let's go, for example, if I were to service Brisbane, let's go Brisbane, and then I also get to drop a pin if I want. I can do a whole heap of things. But realistically, that's saying that we're going to be targeting about 2 million people. Cool. And we've got a 40-kilometer radius. If that's what you service, go for it. Now, if there's a particular age for what you do, feel free to bring that in a bit. But yeah, let's go with that. And this is going to be what's called broad targeting. So the only thing that I've changed here is I've said, hey, I want it for only the locations that I service. And realistically, that's going to be one of your first tests. But the other thing you'd want to do and test individually, not on the same set so you can actually see the results, but individually you'd want to see, if you're a plumber, then you probably gonna look at home owners. There's let's go to browse demographics, life events. I don't know, recently moved. Maybe that's one that's going to be important for your trade or business. Interests, like there's surely going to be one in there for renovation, construction, home renovation, TV shows like The Renovators. Who knows? There's lots of different things that you can try, and I would be adding different ad sets in here and comparing them. But the first control environment that you want to set is just a broad one. So this is called a broad ad set. Cool. We're just going to leave it like that. You're going to make your budget whatever it is. We're just going to locate the region that we look after. Advantage plus placement ad sets. On Facebook, realistically, you can leave that as is and you can adjust it if need be. Then you go next, and this is your actual ad name. So you're going to call it the name of whatever the content piece is. Now this, you want it to be a very engaging video. You want the first 4 seconds to captivate and bring someone in when they watch it, so that they stick around and keep watching, and that's going to bring down the cost of how much it is for someone to watch it, because your ad is more captivating. But this is just going to be whatever the video is called. You're going to choose what Facebook or Instagram account you want it to be viewed on, and then you're going to add your video into there. Make sure it's going to tell you if this content is optimized to where it's being shown, whether it be a mobile, desktop, ad feed, marketplace, wherever the ad is being shown. But make sure it's a very captivating video. Realistically, You probably don't want it to be more than 60 seconds. Most people would stick for this for about 30 seconds. If you're really captivating, you'll have people stick around for that. But realistically, you're aiming for people to hit a certain amount of video views. All right, and primary text. And this is where you're realistically going to put your offer in. So as offers on the making offers module, that's where you're going to put this into here. Make sure the content is relevant. And you don't really want to add a destination for anyone, or you can trial it. If you're going to trial one thing, you're either going to be looking at, what piece of content is working the best here, or you can split test if adding a link in there helps or not. But you can test a whole heap of things here, but that's how you set up your campaign to be optimized for people to watch the video. All right, so that's part one. Let's get some awareness. Then you're going to click publish and you're going to have some results come up. Now there's lots of different ways to look at the results, but realistically for this campaign, you want people to watch the video all the way through, and you're going to be able to look at those metrics. Cool. Let's get out of there, and we are just going to close it and go back to campaign. So that's our awareness campaign and how to set it up. Next, we're going to look at retargeting. Now, the two types of retargeting campaigns that I want you to consider is retargeting video views. So anyone who's watched the video above, whether that be anyone who's watched more than 50%, or if they're really engaged, you could have 75% if you have enough of those, or anyone over 25%. You choose whatever the audience size will be. Just know the more video they've watched, the more engaged they will be with actually taking action on there. Or maybe they don't need your service just yet and you just need to keep them in the loop with more stuff. So you're front of mind. Just consider that. So number one is going to be video views. The other one is going to be website views. So there's something called a Facebook pixel that you can add onto your website. And essentially this is a little tracker that you put onto your website. So anyone who views it, Facebook can use the third-party data of that to retarget them Facebook ads. So I'm sure you've had the scenario where you've gone to a website and a day or a few days later, you've received a whole heap of ads from that particular website. Now that's as a result of you going onto that website and there being a Facebook pixel on there. Now, really important that if you are going to start setting up awareness ads, that you have something like this set up. So if people do go to your website, that they do fall into that net of people that you can market who are already familiar with you, your website, and your services, because these are the most likely people to convert in some regard, whether that's submit a lead form, buy something, book a service, whatever it is, these people are going to be the most engaged people. So homework for you, if you're setting up your awareness ads, is set up Facebook pixel. Now, once again, there's a million videos on this and it updates constantly, so I'm going to let you do that research and find the video that allows you to make that happen. I'm not going to walk through that, but some things that you can target is going to be website views, and that's simply going to be through your Facebook. Actually, it's not Facebook anymore. It's Meta Pixel. Cool. I should probably update this one as well. That's Meta Pixel, not Facebook Pixel. All right. So how do we set up this kind of ad, and what should we be doing here? Let's go to Facebook ads. So you have your awareness running, you've got lots of people watching your video, and now we want to retarget to those people. Now I'm not going to show this all the way through because I don't have that on this tester account, but essentially let's go create. Now realistically, what we're going to want to do is create a leads form, or leads is the result that we want. Now there's multiple ways that you can do this. As you can see on my screen, when we click that, we've got the option of instant forms. So this is a form who are willing to share their information by filling in a form on Facebook. So they never have to leave Facebook and they're going to submit the form. You can do this through Messenger. This is a cool one if you are, I guess, someone who needs to quote a job, is you can have them send you a message and instruct them in the ad exactly what details they need to leave you. The next one is going to be conversions. This is them going to your website and submitting a lead form or booking something on there. That's what conversions is. But realistically, what we want is leads. Cool? Let's go to continue. Now, I haven't named this, but let's do it now. So this is a conversion leads one. Cool. We're not special ads categories. Keep going down. Like I said, we don't want these ones, especially not for the kind of testing that I personally do. And then conversion location. So this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. You can have it be on your website, generate leads through your website, generate leads by asking people to fill in a form on Facebook, or you can have it on Messenger. Now, realistically, this is something that you can test. Keep the same ad and change the conversion location and see what your success is. Now, I'm going to let you do this however you want out of those ones, or generate leads by, you can do both, Instant Forms and Messenger. Great. But realistically, I'm just going to go through website, which means that people are going to have to click a link, go to your website, complete the form. You get more data for them, but realistically, these ones are going to create more leads cheaper. This might just create a higher quality lead because you control the whole thing on your website. So just consider that when you're doing this, but feel free to trial and test. Like I said, the best way to make improvements is test, and this is one of those ways. Cool. So let's go website, set a performance goal. So maximize number of conversions. Sure, that's probably the best one. This is just a sample pixel that we have on there. Choose an event, and I want people to become a lead. Now, realistically, there's a little bit of setup that you need to do to make this fully optimized. But yeah, cost per result goal, optional. I leave it. Realistically, it's going to try and get the cheapest one for you. But yeah, and then going back to the budget thing here, realistically for your awareness type ads, you're going to use 3/4 of your budget there. This is just going to utilize about 1/4 of your budget between when you're splitting up all your awareness ads and all of your conversion ads. It's going to be about 3/4 awareness, 1/4 conversion. So change that to whatever you need it to be for that to make sense. Now, custom audiences. What we're going to do here is, rather than, we're still probably going to want to keep the location to be, well, not really. If someone's been able to get there through your ads, which are location focused, or your website, which is location focused, we can just have everyone who's watching the video because they're probably engaged. And if you find that these people are not within your location, you may want to restrict this to be whatever location. So if that was Brisbane, then you change this to Brisbane as well. Now, what we need to actually retarget these people is what's called a custom audience. So to get one of those, you want to go create new and then custom audience. And it's going to take you here. Now, this is how you create the custom audiences for both types. So when I was talking about retargeting, you can retarget the video views, or you can retarget the website visitors or website views. How you do that is from this section here where you create a custom audience. Now here you can have website views and go through the next there, or you can have video views and go through the next there. Essentially, if it's video views, it's going to ask you for a particular video. You're going to select the video that your ad was on for, and that would have been running for some time to build up an actual audience that you can retarget to. Or you're going to have your website views, which is going to have some kind of data on there from the pixel so you can retarget to that. But realistically, you're going to set that up, go through next. It's going to ask you what kind of content. Did they consume? What kind of engagement? Now, this is what I was talking about earlier. People who watched at least 25%, 50%, 75%. Now, typically speaking, 95% is going to have almost nobody in there. But the further you go down, the less quality person is there. So, run that however you want. Just know the lower video retention you're targeting, the lower quality person, and the less likely they are to submit a request. But if you're getting pretty much no one getting to this form, you probably want to decrease what you have on there. So let's go 50% of a video, for example. Retention. So in what period did they watch 50%? So maybe you want it to be in the last 30 days. Maybe you want it to be in the last year. Maybe you want it to be in the last 6 months. So you change that. Audience name, video views, for example, 50%, 180 days. Cool. So that's the type of naming that I would be using here, just so it's really clear. Video views, 50% of it in the last 180 days. Cool. It's also going to ask you to choose videos. So you're going to choose exactly which video that you want to be targeted on there, or multiple videos that are going to form part of this audience. All right. So that's how you create your custom audience. Once it's created, then you're going to be able to go to your custom audiences and see this name here, which you're then going to select into here. So if you had some in there, they would come up here. So it would have the video views, 50%, 180 days. You click on that, it would adjust the amount of people we're targeting. And then you go through here, you go next, select a page. And then this is going to allow you to create the ad. Now, realistically here, you would want to test a few things. You'd have a single image or a video. Maybe you would have a carousel in there showing people your work. Now, remember on the offers training, maybe you haven't done that just yet, where the perceived likelihood of achievement is also really important for this to be high value enough for people to leave their details or book a service. That maybe you want to have a few examples within a carousel. So you upload a whole heap of photos on there so people see your quality work and they're more likely to actually proceed with that. So creating the ad here, you're going to have your offer again within the primary text. So if you haven't done the offers training, go to the site and make that happen. Headline, you're going to have something short, sweet, take action. Description, realistically, you can have something in there like limited spots available or something like that. Call to action, have whatever you want. Get offer works well. I also like book now, or you can have learn more is pretty a low barrier to entry, gets more clicks but less signups. You can have sign up. You can have a whole heap of things. Request time. Try a few things, see what works for you, and then you want to send them to your URL, or you're going to have other questions in here if you have selected the instant form or messenger. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing. Let's make it look professional and make it look like it's giving them a high value result. And then once you've gone through all that, you're going to click publish, and that's going to start making it happen for you. So what we've gone through so far is how to set up an awareness ad and how to target, have the objective as video views so people learn more about you, become familiar with you. Then we've also gone through how to set up a retargeting ad, what kind of things you can target, and whether that be video views or website views. You can retarget both of those, and those are going to be two great things to retarget to get some conversions and results for your business. Now, lastly, the most important thing is that you test. Now, the thing with testing is that you need to set up a test that you can see how the results are actually improving. So when you test these things, you don't want to test 500 different things at once, because you're going to have no idea what actually made a result happen. So what I recommend you do is when you test something, test them alongside at the same time. So let me show you an example of this. So we're in campaigns currently, and let's say we are wanting to test something on our awareness, campaign here. So we're going to click on awareness, and it's going to take us to our campaign set. Now, realistically, I'm not sure why this is showing new leads ad set, because that is the wrong one, but that should be just for conversions. But what we're testing here is a broad ad set. What we could also test is if we want to test different audiences, we would do that from the ad set. We would click duplicate, and we want to use it in the original campaign, number of copies 1. And this is just going to create another ad set, but use the same ads that we're currently running on there, but we'll be able to test the effectiveness across it. So this is going to duplicate everything there. And if we wanted to rather just a general audience in Brisbane, we can use a more specific audience. So detailed targeting, and let's go renovation construction. So that's going to narrow this down quite a lot. So from 2 million people, we're down to 650 to 765,000 people. So it's a more narrow audience. Potentially it could get more results, but by only testing one thing here, so we're going to change this to renovators. So that's the interest targeting that we added into there, and we'd go publish. And essentially what this does is it means that when we look at the results here, comparing them, you're looking at the results, the impressions, cost per result, and all that stuff. You can actually compare these and see which one's performing better, and then you can cut the other one and test a new thing. So test one thing at a time. You're also probably going to at one point want to test different ad sets. So we've got video in there, we got multiple different ones in there. I think it's showing all of them just because they're all drafts. But realistically, so this is video 1, cool, save to draft. And then we want to duplicate this within the original campaign here, and we want to test a new piece of content. So this is going to be video 2, and we're going to upload video 2, but we're going to keep pretty much everything else the same. You might change the offer if it is a different offer in there, so you'll change the text in there as well, so you can compare content offers. But the main thing here is keep testing things, and whether it be a smaller proportion of the budget or however you want to run it, the most important thing here is that you are trying things to try and get better results. Just don't test too much, and be able to look at what you're testing to see how effective it is. But those are the basics to Facebook ads that should start to see results. I've tried to keep it as simple and as potent as possible for you so that you can jump in and start getting some kind of results, playing, practicing. With time, you are going to get better at this, but what's extremely important is that you start jumping in, diving, experimenting, testing, so you can improve your results and the amount of leads that you get for your business. But I hope that has been helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.